Welcome to the right side of messy. Today, I'd like to talk to you about a technique that I have used within my capacity as a principal when I am feeling stretched, or as a caregiver when I am feeling stretched. The technique is called 5-4-3-2-1. How it works is when you notice that you are getting caught in a loop of worrying, feeling overwhelmed, you disrupt that by shifting the way your brain is thinking, what your brain is focusing on. So you ask your brain to leave what it is worrying about or feeling overwhelmed about, focus on something else. So how it works is you look around you in your environment, you name 5 things you can see. So I can see flowers, I can see a cup, I can see a light, I can see my stove, and I can see a door. Then you go on to the next sense, which is hearing. You listen in your environment or around you for 4 things you can hear. So I can hear my fridge, I can hear my furnace, the fan blowing, I can hear a dog barking down the street, I can hear a neighbor shoveling outside. After that, it is 3 things you can touch. So I can touch my clothes, I can touch the countertop, feels nice and cool, and I can touch my chair. Next is 2 things you can smell. Sometimes this one's a little tricky. Sometimes you maybe just have to think about smells you like. You also can do that with any of the techniques, but right now, I can actually smell flowers that are right near me. I can smell my shampoo. The last one is 1 thing you can taste, which also can be tricky. And sometimes you might just think of flavors that you like, of ice cream or something. But right now I actually can taste some toothpaste because it wasn't long ago that I brushed my teeth. And by doing that, by forcing your brain to focus on something else, you have just created a little bit of a pause and a disruption into the looping that you were stuck in. And hopefully when you then go back to what you were thinking about, you have just a little bit more space or a different perspective. You're actually able to move forward with a next step or a decision. The decision could be that you need a break from thinking about it, but this just helps get you out of it and helps just let you see that what it is that you're carrying can be put to the side for a moment to lighten that load for you, your brain, to just be focused on something else. So that's a technique I use, and I've used it a couple of times this week. It has certainly helped me. It's helped me be able to come up with what my next step was going to be in a more healthier way. It's helped me to show up in more of my full self in a moment. I'd like to share with you how I used 5-4-3-1 in my own life this week. On Wednesday, middle of the week, I had left work, went to see my mom, had spent some time with my husband, was at home, and had just let my dog out, received a phone call from my mother saying that she was in a lot of pain. I have received these phone calls from my mom before, and I know to take them very seriously because the last ones they resulted in a broken hip, a broken knee, and a stroke. So I got back in the car, went to see her, could see she was in a lot of pain, was for sure she had broken something. We had called an ambulance, and there we were in Emerge. I have been Emerge many times in the last few years between my mom and my husband. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I used the 5-4-3-2-1. I just looked around the hospital environment and did the countdown, focusing on all the different senses. By the time I was done, I was much more able to just be present for my mom, just be open to what was going to be needed from me next, instead of trying to anticipate or doing what if we're here all night, what if. I just stopped and was able to try to soothe my mom, try to just make light of the situation. Here we were once again. It turned out okay. Nothing was broken. And later that night, I was bringing my mom home from the hospital. back to her retirement home, which was an interesting little adventure for my mom and I. She didn't have a coat and she didn't have any shoes. She couldn't put any weight on this leg we were in the hospital to get an x-ray for. But we did manage. We got her in my car and got her back to her residence. We were able to laugh a little bit. And I really do think the 5-4-1 helped me to show up in that moment in a way that I was able to just deal with it in a healthier way. If you want to give this a go, that's great. And you want to let me know how it went for you, please leave a message in the comments. I would love to hear. Also, if you have a tip for me or a strategy that you think I should try or someone else in our community should try, please let us know in the comments below. And please like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you again on the right side of messy. Thank you.